Greetings, fellow conquerors, and welcome back to the beautiful lands of England here in EU4. So what are we up to now? Well, we just finished our war with Brittany and Burgundy, and we smashed them, and Austria has inherited the throne of Burgundy from, the King of Burgundy, because he died, and apparently he said, Austria's pretty cool, have my stuff. We're going to build a temple in Paris, because that's 0.36 ducats a month. We are rich, we are powerful, but our armies suck. That is the situation we're in. Our force limit currently is 48,000 troops, but we only have about 35,000 of that because our manpower is a little bit low. So if we build any more troops from here on out, they're most likely going to be mercenaries. Yeah, we're just going to take 25% in Derbyshire, which is right here. It's only a 6 development province anyway. I'm not really worried about it. No buildings in there either. Nothing to worry about there. We're immediately going to take our trade ships, because I believe we're missing out on quite a bit of trade by not trading in the node. I keep trying to make a new fleet when I mean to trade. It's a problem. Now it doesn't say it's going to increase our trade value that much, but it usually does, even if you've already got a lot of power in the node like we do. Yeah, so about 0.7 ducats a month. Good stuff. So yeah, now we're just waiting for our manpower to recover. We're in a bit of a lull right now, but we are improving relations with Austria and Castile so as to avoid drawing their ire. I think we go for the prestige here. Yeah. We're making about 10 ducats a month with maintenance turned off. Turned on, probably something around the region of like 3 ducats a month. It's worth noting almost all of our forts are activated, so I'm going to mothball all forts. Except for the one here in mine. And Finisterre, because these are where the rebels are probably going to pop. So we'll keep maintenance on those two. Our income should increase dramatically here. Yeah, 5 ducats a month. We have so many forts, it's a little bit crazy. Now, a lot of the more professional players, I know in particular Floriworry, if you watched him, that crazy Dutchman. And I just forgot something that one of my council members told me, and I'm so ashamed. But Floriworry doesn't believe in forts. Basically, he has his capital fort, and that's pretty much it. That's all he really cares about, and I can certainly understand why. I personally am more comfortable actually having them, especially as a bigger nation where we have the finances to fund all these forts and get the military tradition from them. I don't claim that Namur would be a rightful part of our realm. That's a shame, but we can fabricate another claim on France. Anyway, what I forgot to do is I forgot to reduce my war exhaustion before coring these provinces. Now, thankfully, we only had about 2%, or yeah, about 2 war exhaustion, which coring cost about 5% more coring cost. But with the 25% discount that we got from administrative ideas, I'm not too worried about it. I am going to improve military once again in some of these provinces because we have so many points from having a 636 leader. Just another one of the benefits of playing a bigger nation. Now, King Edward V is 54 years old, so he will be dying fairly soon here. And we should prepare for that. However, we desperately need to increase our administrative technology level, for sure. We need to get it up to Tech 7 so that we can actually afford to do military ideas. At the same time, we'll be looking to expand into France proper. We already own Paris, which is a huge, start for us. We'll build another temple in Normandy. Just rake in tax income. Life is good. Life is great if you're an Englishman right now. Now, these provinces are almost done coring, which is really nice. But yeah, having a strong Denmark means we're not going to be able to expand into Kildare anytime soon. That being said, we already have the provinces necessary, I believe, to form... Yeah, we already have the provinces necessary to form the British nation. So I'm not particularly worried about that. So we'll be able to form Britain, which doesn't really do all that much for us, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we changed to Great Britain, get a permanent claim on Britain, so just, you know, on Kildari's territory, basically. Increased centralization is pretty good. 20 years of minus 0.05 monthly autonomy. And the thing is, we're not even an empire yet. We're just a kingdom, and by becoming Britain, we don't even... It will still be the Kingdom of Britain. We won't be the Empire of Britain, I believe. It doesn't say it in the tooltip, so it must be true. Alright, we will attract our diplomat from Castile. Castile is a little worried about our aggressive expansion. A lot of people are. Let's see, what war is France fighting against? It's fighting against Gelre, Brunswick, East Frisia, and Liège in the Utrechtian conquest of Gelre, because he's allied with Utrecht. Gotcha. Now, the triumvirate I've created here between myself, Castile, Aragon, and Austria is pretty powerful. The only other major power that poses a threat to all of us would be the Polish-Lithuanian throne, once they get their ideas going and they get their ridiculous armies. Alright, we've cored everything over here. And I want to turn this territory into a state. If we look at the areas map mode here, all of this is just part of Brittany. So, if we turn this into a state, it says we're going to pay more maintenance than we're going to make, and I imagine that's probably because of autonomy. So, I'm actually going to wait to tech up first and unlock workshops, which are actually going to be pretty useful for us, all things considered. Alright, we can trade dispute against Norway. I don't really care. We'll go ahead and improve military once again in that province in Essex. Any other good provinces? Yeah, here in Hampshire, we could easily get more manpower going. Having more manpower is pretty nice. Although we should probably build it here in Paris, where we get over 1,200 additional total manpower, which is pretty damn good. Yeah, let's go ahead and build it there. But yes, we're going to go for Admin Tech 6 here, and then we're going to try to move as fast as we can to get Tech 7. We take the Heretico de Comburendo Act. I believe that means burn the heretics, basically. Yeah, happily take the Reform Desire for Catholicism. I would love to go Protestant here, if given the opportunity, if we get a center of Reformation, because the Pope hates us anyway. I don't know if it affects our statute and restraint of appeals, but we're going to find out. Alright, when the Bretons are at 80%, I'm definitely going to raise maintenance. We haven't gotten a theologian all game. That's crazy. Now, we don't get papal influence anyway, so the stability seems like an easy get, considering, 15% tax modifier is pretty rough, even though we get the initial 250 ducats from this event. The yearly papal influence means nothing to us, so we're going to take the stability. For sure. We're making 18 ducats a month right now. It's crazy. We're so good. We are so good. And yet we're still only in second place. I'm not that score really means anything, but just out of curiosity's sake, Ming is the only country doing better than us. And our diplomatic rating is significantly better than theirs. Admin rating is almost better, but their military rating is better than ours. We haven't even met Ming yet, so for all intents and purposes, we are number one. All these other countries can shove off, as far as we're concerned. After doing the Burgundian inheritance, I am curious, how big is Austria now? They're up to only 451 development. I thought they would have been bigger, but apparently not. Apparently not. Excuse me. Now, Edward V has died. 'Tis a sad day, especially since Edward VI has no heir yet. It's like when you're playing CK2, and you know you have this heir for a while, and he's old enough to have kids, but he either doesn't get married for whatever reason, or you know he just doesn't have any kids because he's infertile or something horrible like that happens. Thankfully, we're not getting the warning about personal union on monarch death. Apparently, Edward VI only has 65 legitimacy starting out, which is really unfortunate for us, really. Now, if we look here, let's see. We can start a new offensive war against France in 4 years. Now, our aggressive expansion with Castile and Austria is ticking down fairly rapidly. In 4 years, we'll have reduced about, let's see, 2.7, so 5.2, so about 10.4. We'll have it down by about 10.4. Now, I doubt our own allies would join a coalition against us, especially with such high opinion of us. But at the same time, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit wary. We are going to start building workshops on these beautiful provinces that we have that produce dyes, or not dyes, fabric, silk. Let's see, we will have... Oh, man. So we only have a +2... We only have a 2 leader in admin now. So I'm actually going to turn on administrative focus because we desperately need the points. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that we could pretty easily beat the French here. Let's claim Picardy, since I believe we already have the area code anyway. Actually, we don't. We don't have any of these provinces here in Picardy, like the area of Picardy. That's funny, actually. But we're going to fabricate on Picardy anyway. Being able to link up with Calais sounds pretty nice. Now, is Austria doing anything? Austria's not doing anything. I don't believe Castile is doing anything. Do we pay 25% more? I don't think we do. I don't think it makes sense to do that when we can just improve manpower in our provinces instead. So I'm going to do that. 2 more points of improvement. Because we can't really stockpile past 900. Now, admin focus is going to make it so that we can get Renaissance thought 2 points, or 2 years earlier, in about 1493. Which is going to be pretty good. And we're definitely going to take a military idea, because our military needs to be whipped into shape. And I believe we're either going to take offensive ideas or defensive ideas. Offensive ideas make sense, and the shock value and the fire value for the generals is going to drastically help us over the course of the game. It is one of the better idea groups for military. The nice thing about defensive, though, is that it's... It gives 15% land morale very quickly, which means our likelihood to actually win battles goes up significantly. Go ahead and take a look at that while we pass some time here. So yeah, offensive ideas is going to improve prestige, which is an indirect buff to morale. 20% siege ability is good. 20% land force limit is pretty dang good. 5% discipline is also really nice. It's not the best idea group. Quality definitely appeals to me, though, because we have the numbers already to make use of it. But, that being said, offensive is really strong. Having good generals is always a good thing. Oh, France is building a spy network, unsurprisingly. Oh yeah, we lost a rival because... Burgundy vanished, and our only 2 available rivals are Castile and Aragon. Or Austria, I should say. And I don't really want to rival either of them, so I guess we just take the power projection hit, honestly. I don't want to rival any of them until I absolutely have to. Now, I am surprised that Poland-Lithuania doesn't show up as a rival for us, but I guess either we're too strong or they're just too far away. The Breton rebels are getting stronger, so we are going to go ahead and restore unit maintenance here. I think I want a Diplo Advisor. I don't know if I want a +2 Diplo Advisor, though. I mean, why not? It lets us make more money in the form of improving the actual lands that we have. So I'll go ahead and pick up a +2 Diplo Advisor. And actually, come to think of it, we could get a yearly prestige Diplo Advisor. I think I'd rather keep the Natural Scientist because the production efficiency is really nice, even at this stage in the game. And apart from that, Smugglers. Hold on, we'll actually pay for this event. We can afford it. Just need to wait a couple months. I don't want to take out a loan. So yeah, we're just gonna wait for that real quick. And yeah, we're basically just playing the waiting game here. The Breton Separatists have risen. Okay, we're gonna combine these two armies. I believe if we go this way, we don't take a river crossing. So let's see if our 2-2 general can do some work for us here. Now, I don't believe they gained separatism. No, because we have a fort nearby. Right. Alright, we can afford the ducat cost. Alright, let's just slow down. Slow down a little bit. We still took a river crossing anyway, which sucks. Now, we're not rolling great here. We never do, but France's army came over to watch. Oh, wait, what's going on over here? You having a battle? Now, in the fire phase, we're getting crushed for some reason. Which doesn't really make much sense to me, but whatever, I guess. Basically, all I can glean from this is we need more cannons. We should build more cannons instead of just having this massive wall of infantry. Alright, if we can just hold on for another year, we're going to pick up the next military attack. Yeah, we lost about something like 10,000 men in that battle. That's unfortunate. Would really like to circumvent battles like that in the future, for sure. But, you know, we have to owe it to our, you know, massively amazing economy to how well we're doing right now. Okay, we're going to kick up the speed. Now, the only people left to revolt are the Provençal Separatists, which, if we move our army in there into mine, I believe, yeah, then they're basically going to be a non-issue. Alright, we're only at 5% more. We're going to go ahead and pick up Military Tech 8. Alright, we need some cannons. Let's build some cannons. Let's put our money to good use. I think we probably want 4 cannons per army. It seems to be optimal for a like an actual combat effectiveness standpoint. Now, why do we want cannons? Why is it better than having just a wall of people? For those who don't know, how combat width works. So we've got a combat width of 24, right? However, the line is actually only 12 wide. You've got 12 in the front, and you've got 12 in the back line. And units that are in the back row still take morale damage, but unless they're cannons, they can't attack the front. So really, we could have an army that has 12 cannons in it. However, cannons aren't very good at this point in time, and so having the replacements to go to the front line actually sort of makes more sense than just having, you know, a bunch of cannons. Especially since we don't have the production efficiency yet to really pay for just a fleet of cannons. Now, in a year, in June, let's see, 10 prestige. Yeah, we have 10 prestige to burn for a random point. We got some Diplo points. That's some good stuff. All right, go ahead and pick up another cannon. All the cannons, really, is what we want. I feel like I'm playing Risk. Alright, we get James, who has 5 military points, so we are absolutely going to be taking a military idea group. Yeah, it's really funny. Our military is actually quite impotent, considering how many good military leaders we've had so far. Yes, we will name him James. James the First, most likely, of the York dynasty. A most illustrious dynasty, I can assure you. And I think I will be taking offensive ideas. It just makes sense for our country. Now, I would go to war with the French, but two things. I want our aggressive expansion to take down just a little bit more with our allies, who I'm just waiting, by the way, for them to rival us. Let's see. We have 4 cannons in each of these armies now, which is perfect. And yeah, we'll go ahead and pick up Tech 8 for Diplo. I'm just going to keep on waiting for the next admin tech level. As much as I would like to turn Brittany into a state, I don't really see much point at this point in time. Now, we're actually at the state limit, and that doesn't go up until Tech 8. Well, actually, no, we're not. We have 12 states and 3 territories, so if we turned all of our territories into states, then we would be at the limit. Okay. I've actually never run into this problem. Our marriage with Desmond has ended. This is saddening. Here, Desmond. The most powerful nation in the world, under our careful rule and tutelage. Alright, cool. Finally picked up Admin Tech 7, and now we can pick up our first military idea group, and we're going to go with offensive, because it's good. Very cool. Land leader shock +1, and our heavy ship combat goes up, which is admittedly useful, but you know, we're doing mostly a land conquest for the time being, so... Holy cow. National unrest -2. It seems too good to pass up compared to the rest of these, so I'm going to go with it. 42% chance to win. I'm just going to grant Navy commissions because I don't care about Navy tradition at all. Doesn't matter to me because it's the Navy. Minus 4,000 manpower kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. We will build a workshop in Paris. What a good province. What a fantastic province that we swiped from them at the very start of the game. We're going to fabricate another claim. Probably on Namur. I believe that's in the same area as Paris. Alright, royal marriage with Castile has ended, so we'll go ahead and remarry them. Okay, so if we look here at our aggressive expansion map mode, Austria is at -16, Castile is at -19. I believe, if we look here, Castile and Austria would both join in a war against France. So really, I think it's just time to attack, but that's going to have to wait for next time, unfortunately. But thank you for joining me, fellow Englishmen, and I'll see you there.